Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. Today we have seen one of the most explosive moves for Bitcoin to the upside in history. XRP has moved in kind. And so you might be wondering, what should we expect next for XRP specifically? That's something I do want to talk about, and I have perspective from a couple top chart analysts, including one who says that with what has been happening with XRP throughout this consolidation period, it's going to catch a ton of people off guard, and it's going to stun them, and XRP is absolutely going to rip to the upside. But before going further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. As I record this video, it is 5:28 p.m. Central Time, Wednesday, March 20th, 2024. And things are looking a lot different than they did just a little bit earlier this morning. That's for sure. At the time I'm recording this, XRP 61.4 cents. 24-hour low for XRP 57.5 cents. 24-hour high 61.8 cents. Take a look at Bitcoin. Currently $67,707. 24-hour low though, $60,979. 24-hour high just a hair over $68,000. It actually was right at that right before I started recording this video, maybe like, I don't know, 5 or 10 minutes ago. Incredible, explosive move to the upside, and considering the sentiment that we've seen from people in recent days, people screaming on Twitter. I'm not even saying that it's most people that have been terrified, but a lot of people have. You can see it on the Crypto Fear and Greed Index, moving down to a level that we haven't seen in a while. I highlighted that yesterday. And didn't make sense to be fearful, which is why I shared in a video literally last night that I had been purchasing cryptocurrencies for the last 3 days, not knowing if the market would go lower. And if this is some sort of fake out and it goes lower, I'll still be enticed to buy more. That won't change my stance, but what I'm seeing from people now is an expectation that this most recent low, that was the bottom. That was quick, though. Like, if that really is the bottom, and some of these analysts are correct, and I'm not pretending to know because I'm not a chart guy, but if that's correct, man, that was really quick. I was showing in a video yesterday, like, if you look at all the drops that we've seen since the bottom of the bear market, since 2022, like, these frequently last weeks. How long has it been? Like several days? What was it, in 5 days? Something like that. It hasn't been that long since we've been in this drop. And so if this is the break to the upside, okay, so be it. I won't be upset about that. I will note, though, that if this is indeed it, there's a good reason for this, I think. Now, most of the time when news breaks, people attribute whatever's happening in the crypto markets already to that news. They say the news is what triggered that. That's normally not true from my perspective. Here you can see that there's news lining up with price action, and that does happen too. There was something happening today, and I'm not going to talk in great depth in this video. Maybe I will in a subsequent video, but be aware of this. Here's Sentiment, on-chain analytics firm, reporting on this. The Fed's, bottom line here, not changing rates now, and have signaled that they're going to decrease rates in the future, and market thinks that's good, even though historically that's usually not good, is what it is. But Sentiment wrote the following. After the FOMC announced that interest rates will be standing pat for the time being, crypto markets rebounded with a vengeance. Trader bullishness is high as the Fed's decision benefits equities and cryptocurrencies correlation with the S&P 500. Yeah, and so like I always say, cryptos, I know people like to say, but it's Bitcoin, it's the sound money, it's the hardest money there ever is. Like that book titled Hard Money You Can't F With, and I'm censoring it there. Okay, super duper, and I'd probably agree with a ton of points made in the book. I haven't read it, but I'm just kind of guessing because I'm a crypto bro. But the people that say this stuff, they like to pretend like cryptos are not risk-on assets. They're treated the same as equities, as evidenced by what happened today. The Fed has some news. Markets shoot to the upside. You can't tell me that this can't be effed with if the Fed is controlling it to some degree, because they're having a huge impact on it in specific moments like this. It's, again, crypto, risk on assets. It's just the case. Don't let anyone lie to you. Cryptos are absolutely treated like risk on assets. So the S&P 500 breaking up to another new all-time high today, ripped at the exact same time crypto did. It is what it is. And here's a post. This is at 4:03 p.m. Central Time, so not long ago, from chart analyst Jelly. He simply wrote, and just like that, the weekly candle does not look that scary anymore. Just goes to show that staying bullish at support is generally a good idea. Hashtag Bitcoin. Right. And so that's why I was saying yesterday, you buy into strength. Broadly speaking, I'm not telling you specifically listening what to do, but the concept is you buy into strength. Even during pullbacks, if you're the type of person that maybe you have some capital, you'd like to jump in. Is it a good time to buy when you're in a bull trend upwards when there happens to be a correction to the downside? Well, very frequently the answer is yes. You know, it's the same thing in November 2020 when FTX collapsed. I was like, guys, I know everybody's scared out of their minds here, but this is major capitulation. I'm buying into this. And that was at the region in time where it was the bottom, roughly. It was like right there. Same concept here, even though we're in a bull market now. That part's like very clear, moving to the upside. Same concept. It's a dramatic pull down, good time to buy. Here's a post from Bitcoin Archive on X. New, Bitcoin back over $68,000 with a massive $6,000 green candle. The biggest daily dollar increase since February 2021. So folks, this is a fairly historic day. Now, we'll see where Bitcoin closes, but either way, to just have that move even, that's something. Here's a post from chart analyst Nick Crypto Crusader. $68,400 is the target for the daily close. In my opinion, we have bottomed on this move, and now we wait for $70,000 plus to be hit next. The key thing to take from this is to remember how bearish we were right around the bottom of this correction. Yep, spot on. So we'll see what happens. I agree with the sentiment anyway. And in terms of the chart analysis, I hope he's correct that that actually was the bottom. I'd prefer to move to the upside. But, if we actually get another move to the downside, okay, twist my arm. I guess I got to buy some more stuff because we're in a bull trend. I'm not exactly going to be crying over that. But right now I'm feeling pretty damn good about those 3 days of buys that I put in. And one day after the next, the investments I made were down as I expected because I can't time a bottom. And here we are. Now stuff ripping to the upside and the whole market's green today. How about that? Here's a post, and I actually shared this yesterday. This is a post from yesterday, and then I'm going to get into the brand new stuff from him, but just want to set the table a little bit in case you guys missed this. This is a post from chart analyst Credible Crypto yesterday afternoon talking about the XRP BTC pair. Despite all the people in the comments of my last post talking about how we are back where we started after that drop on Bitcoin, the XRP BTC pairing is still 3 to 4% higher than when I tweeted and has maintained a higher low, which means nothing has changed, and the idea is still going perfectly to plan. Those who are not understanding this may benefit from studying and understanding the relationship of alt/BTC pairs and alt/USD pairs. In any case, now that Bitcoin may have begun to stabilize, we should see this pairing continue to upside targets, which should coincide with a rise on XRP USD as well, as long as Bitcoin doesn't drop further. And so he was already displaying his bullishness yesterday. He swats back against the people in his comment sections that say XRP is a dino coin or a crap coin. And people ask you, why do you even like XRP? Like, you got such a great hit rate. I'm paraphrasing here. Like, you're right so many times. Well, why do you think XRP is good? And his response in multiple instances recently has been, you'll see soon. Yep. And he certainly shared that sentiment today. In fact, he shared a 60-minute video, which I did watch this afternoon, sharing a market update on what he expects with Bitcoin and XRP. And I don't regurgitate TR, at least I try to keep it to a minimum on this channel because that's not what this is about. If you want full-blown technical analysis, if that's your jam, there are tons of channels that offer that are great at it. I offer something a little bit different. I like to share diverse opinions, including perspectives from multiple chart analysts. But I don't like to regurgitate that. I just like to share what's the ultimate perspective because it's kind of fun to track who's more right than wrong. And I'd certainly argue that Credible Crypto is a top-shelf chart analyst. He is among the best. And this cycle, he's arguably, probably, been the most accurate. And so he shared this post this afternoon, 12:52 p.m. If Bitcoin gets one more leg down, as discussed in my latest vid update, we likely see something like this on XRP. And let me pause right here. So that was 12:52. And so this was right before, now I've got the Bitcoin chart pulled up. You can see this is right before Bitcoin started ripping to the upside. So at that point, it was at, I mean, it's up, you could argue it's up a little bit from the most recent low, but what, $64,000? It hadn't really done the most impressive move yet, which we have seen this afternoon. And so, again, he says, if Bitcoin gets one more leg down, as discussed in my latest video update, we likely see something like this on XRP. Would be an excellent opportunity to add/start a position at 54 to 55 cents if looking for additional exposure. And so it's not that he thought that that was going to happen. And in fact, in his video, he explicitly stated that, you know, if XRP is going to drop like that, it's going to be led by Bitcoin. And he said he didn't think that Bitcoin was going to be going down to like $53,000 or so, which some analysts have been calling for. He said, no, that's not what's most probable. In fact, he says it looking like this is the point where we have some sort of bottoming structure. And, you know, he noted, and this is interesting because, you know, me not being a chart guy, there's something that I've said a number of times over the years, which I firmly believe is true. And he said what I would say is functionally the equivalent, but stated in technical analysis terms. And so he said that XRP hasn't had a macro move since 2017. And that everything since then has just been 6 years of ranging. And as a result, he says that when XRP finally does make a move, it will leave people in stunned disbelief. And that is functionally equivalent to what I have been stating for years, which is that either XRP goes to zero or it will hit a new all-time highs. One of these things will happen. I've made it clear which I think is the most probable, though I admit I don't know for sure what will happen with XRP price. I have strong conviction XRP moving to the upside, eventually hitting a new all-time high, entering price discovery. I have strong conviction for tons of reasons I've been articulating on this channel for over half a decade. But neither of those things has happened. XRP hasn't hit zero and it hasn't hit a new all-time high. So all of the moves in between, yes, for over 6 years, it's all ultimately been inconsequential, at least for me, because I'm waiting for one of two things to happen. So all the stuff in between, yes, literally for that long, for over 6 years, doesn't matter. It's ranging for 6 years. And yes, I'll make the argument that, and Credible Crypto acknowledges it too, if not for the SEC, you know, would have seen a breakout to the upside. In all probability. He absolutely does blame, and rightfully so, that the SEC squashed it. But as a result, fine, longer ranging. But as he has stated multiple times, the longer something ranges, the longer something consolidates, when it finally goes, it's like... So he actually thinks that the break is going to be bigger than what we would have seen last market cycle had the SEC not intervened. That's pretty incredible. And he says, you know, that the XRP BTC chart can look better, even if Bitcoin and XRP are dropping in price against the United States dollar, even if both were. And again, we have the benefit of hindsight. We see that, at least for now anyway, Bitcoin has been breaking to the upside, spurred obviously by by the FOMC meeting, that news breaking. So we see that Bitcoin and XRP moving to the upside against the United States dollars, but he was saying in this video that, you know, the XRP BTC chart can look better even if Bitcoin and XRP were dropping in price against the United States dollar. And he just noted that this would happen so long as Bitcoin drops more substantially than XRP. So even if both go down, if Bitcoin's dropping worse, price XRP and Bitcoin, it's going to cost more Bitcoin to buy an XRP. That's the point that he's making. But, you know, and he said, you know, this would happen so long as Bitcoin drops, again, more substantially than XRP. But he says, if Bitcoin trades sideways or increases in price, and right now, yes, it's increasing in price, then he expects that XRP will gain ground against Bitcoin and the United States dollar. He still says this is the moment. This is the point where it's reasonable to start looking at the breakout point. And he said another thing that was fantastic, which was transcribed by XRP community Neatsbuck, so I pulled it up for the purpose of this video. But it was stuff along the lines of, yeah, these people are going to be in stunned disbelief. All the people, all the negative sentiment on social media platform X, these are all just signs that you'd expect to see at the moment right before XRP breaks. He firmly believes that it's going to be moving to the upside, and he shared this post. And this was transcribed by Neatsbucks. And this was towards the end of the video. And it was a pleasure to hear this. And he had some more to say this, but this really gets to the meat of it. I think that's fair to say. So here's what Credible Crypto stated. This is a quote. I think XRP, seriously, the amount of frustration and hate and absolute destruction of hope that I see on Twitter right now makes me so much more confident in what is to come. It makes me so much more excited to be in position on XRP for what I think is going to be a move, the likes of which is going to leave most of the market stunned, as it did in 2017. There is no doubt in my mind that we are going to see an explosive move here, end quote. Yup. Now, that is obviously bullish sentiment, but it's grounded in real analysis and experience in the market dating back a better part of a decade in his case. And then Neatsbucks wrote, credible, making his opinion clear. The battle of frustrated holders versus optimistic traders continues. Yeah, so who do you think is right? The people that are whining on the internet like little bitches, or the experienced analysts who control their emotions and have actual data to back their perspectives? Who's more likely to be right? Because pretty much all the analysts that I follow who are reputable, who don't just despise XRP because reasons, they acknowledge, yeah, this would be the moment if it's going to break, more or less this. It doesn't mean it has to be today, tomorrow, next week, whatever. In terms of the chart structure, this is the moment where roughly it would happen. Why do I keep seeing that versus the whiny bitches on the internet? What do you guys think? Who is more likely to be right? The whiny people with emotions, or the people with logic, data, and reason and experience in the market? Unless there's a black swan event, you know who I'm voting for, you know? So we have so much to look forward to. I continue at least, to have a blasty blast in the crypto space. This is such a fun time to be in crypto. And even during the dip in recent days, if you notice that my demeanor was just as cheery as ever, well, that's how I always am when the market dips, because it doesn't matter. Because it always trends to the upside, and it has been for 15 years. And every single time sentiment gets diminished because there's a move to the downside, some people actually have fear this is the moment it all falls apart. It's been treading along. We have more real world adoption, more use cases, but it's all going to fall apart now because I feel like it's scary now. That's how humans work. It's stupid, which is why I just buy stuff and hold and do absolutely nothing. I've been holding XRP since 2017. I am not impatient because I firmly believe I'm right. I have high confidence. We'll find out if it's rightfully placed or not, but I have that high confidence, and I think it's deserved. We're going to see a face-melting rally. We're going to see XRP hit a new all-time high in enterprise discovery much sooner than later if these analysts are correct, including Credible Crypto, who has an incredible hit rate. It's such an amazing time to be in crypto. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because if anything I say are right, that would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.